The year is 1619 and about 30 people have landed on the shores of Fort Monroe, Virginia. They're hungry, tired, scared, don't understand where they are. They're in chains. They have just taken on a journey that they had never anticipated or planned for, and it was not up to them. You see, they were captured from their homes, ripped off cruelly from their families, and sold to slavery. And now they have landed in a new land. This was about to become the story of many thousands, if not millions, of Africans who would be brought to these shores and many others like them. Their clan names were gone. They took on the names of their slave masters. Their ululations, their dancing, their music, ripped away from them. Their language has been taken away from them. Their cultures, their weddings, their funeral rites, their children, their husbands, their wives, their mothers, their sisters, their brothers, gone never to be seen again for many of them. They lost the food that they knew. No more eating fufu, egusi. They were packed like sardines in slave ships. They were stripped off of every piece of dignity that they had. They were sold like pieces of meat in the open market, the slave markets. The women were raped, the men were humiliated, they were whipped constantly. Many died, many were killed. They lost everything that connected them back to Africa. Anything that connected them to their identity was taken away forcibly from them. That and even worse things took place to so many Africans who were brought into this land to build it with forced labor to a nation that would later be called the United States of America. Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl, Coach Korry. This is the place to inspire, motivate, and impact. And today is a good day. Today's a good day because we get to welcome home our African American sisters who are making this maiden trip back to Africa for the first time ever. And so this happened earlier on this year at I Am Africa Nairobi. And remember, Africa is a person, not a place. And so I had the privilege of being a part of this very intimate and special event. And I thought that I would share it with you to understand how important it is to know your roots, because your roots give you a sense of belonging and you begin to embrace the person that you were created to be. And so let's dive in because I'm excited, and let us celebrate our sisters as they come home. The day started beautifully in true I Am Africa fashion with Jerusalema, but we couldn't get the steps right. So Coach Jean stopped us in our tracks and she was like, she was not having it.
No, we have more than one leader. This song has been out for 6 years. What in the Africa is going on? Remember, you are black women. May I remind you that the melanin in you requires that you do this correctly. And if you don't know, like me,
So now we're dancing Jerusalem, and the lady standing next to me in an orange and blue dress is one of the ladies that has come, and she has no idea what's about to happen. So after this, we're going to welcome them, and our able MC Purity is speaking in Swahili because it's a surprise and they don't know what's about to happen. Now it's time to welcome the visitors here very shortly, and the MC is speaking to us in Swahili. Again, like I mentioned, it's a surprise, so it's getting exciting. So let's listen in now. I can't play the music because of copyright issues, but we'll make it work. Let's listen in.
So tutawaibia hii wimbo in, like very loud.
Kwa sauti kubwa
ndio tuwakaribishe. Na nini mnajua vile tunakaribisha wageni? Hatuwakaribishi kama tumeketi. Hebu hiyo kiti. Excuse me for a few minutes. Nitakuacha kidogo, nitainuka tu kidogo na nitainuka tu kidogo. Nipatie muda. Alafu tuanze kuinuka jameni. DJ utacheza hiyo wimbo kwa sauti kubwa. Volume kubwa. Volume haina kitu kwa Kiswahili jameni. So are you ready? Are you ready, ladies?
They were visibly surprised and shocked to be called up front, and then now they're about to be adorned in African regalia. And I cannot begin to tell you what this moment meant for them. They felt received, welcomed, loved, accepted, connected back to Africa. And it was such an emotional moment as we were ululating, we were screaming, we were so happy to celebrate these ladies and also recognize how much we have taken our own ancestry and the knowledge thereof for granted. And when I tell you there was not a dry eye in the room after this, oh my goodness. This was a real eye-opener for me, and I understood how critical it is for every one of us, especially for our African brothers and sisters who are out here in the diaspora, who are taken away from their homes to discover their roots and to connect back to Africa.
Ladies, we don't take this lightly, because we know what this means to you. We take it for granted that we are African. Some of us go to our ancestral home, and this is a true story. My uncle said, "Do you see that tree with yellow flowers next to the toilet? That is your great-grandfather's grave." True story, taken for granted. I go to karate, and I know that my people walked these paths. You go to your ancestral home, and you know that these are your relatives, and that someone can tell you who was before and who came before and who came before. They can't do that. And they are relying on you to help them. I have this conversation a lot with African American women, and I realize one thing, because they don't know where they came from. We know it's West Africa. We know it's that Atlantic area, all the way around up until the lower part of Tanzania. That's the part that we know, right? But I say one thing to them. When it hit me, what I had, I recognized that our sisters were taken away, and we didn't come back together. Call you your name, they'll take you places, you just find yourself riding in cars to places you don't know. They'll introduce you as the family and leave you there. Their relatives will speak to you in their language. All right? That's actually what happened with Kenyans. And I know they genuinely mean it, but I want to say, if nobody ever says this to you, they're going to say, well, right? And so, let's shout it out in Swahili. Karibu nyumbani. Welcome,